Class over here at the B-Team. Today we went over some wrestling up. Okay, you know, I kind of showed this concept that you see in wrestling a lot, where you make people take a step. Okay, in wrestling all the time you see people from inside ties force people to take a step towards you. They time it and they come up, or even taking a step backwards as well. Like I reach for leg, he steps back, and I switch across to the other one. So we went over that concept from a guard position, and it's a lot more applicable to jiu-jitsu. So yeah, it seems like most of the people here enjoyed it, and happy to finally start showing some of that wrestling up stuff. Yeah.
So that you get it out of your system.
We're going to be looking at timing a step. Okay, in the last move, we use a double kuichi to force him to take a step, so that way we could time it and come up. This time, our opponent's going to be looking to step in the middle. Okay, this is very good for him because if he's able to step in the middle, he can start to drive Izaak down to his back and start going into knee cuts and things like that. So this is a very common reaction you'll see from the guy on top passing. All Izaak's going to do is he's going to be playing on his side, and as Nick goes to take a step in, he's just going to be posting with his right foot on his shin. Okay, this will prevent Nick from getting his foot in the middle. Now, as Izaak does this, he's going to move backwards. Okay, so Nick goes to take a step in, he blocks it. Nope, go back. So as Nick goes to take a step in, he first blocks it, then he backs up. Now he knows Nick's going to take another step forward towards him. So as Nick steps, he times it and he hits an inside reach. And once again, we're able to pull ourselves up into that head inside single. Now from here, once again, Nick does a good job of taking whizzer and wrist. We run the pipe to loosen that connection and make him let go of our wrist. This time, instead of switching to a double, we come up to a body lock. Now from here, we want to get to our opponent's back, but this whizzer is stopping us. So what I'm going to have Izaak do is he's going to step this leg in front, he's going to throw his hips in, and he's going to start whipping Nick down around the mat. Now Nick's either going to have to go down and accept a takedown, or the more common reaction you'll get is the whizzer comes out, and now you're behind your opponent. So let's give it go through it one more time. From here, Nick Ortiz goes to take a step in the middle, but Izaak does a good job of blocking him. Now from here, he scoots back. As Nick goes to step forward towards him again, he times it, hits an inside reach, and he comes up with his head in the middle. From here, he goes to run the pipe, which forces Nick to loosen that connection. Now from here, he has a body lock, and he wants to get to his opponent's back, but this wizard's stopping him. From here, he steps his his left leg in front, and makes Nick release the whizzer, and now we're behind our opponent. So one last time. He goes to step in, he blocks it. As he scoots back and Nick goes to walk towards him, he times his step, hits an inside reach, and he comes up. From here, he goes to run the pipe, switches to a body lock. Now to remove the whizzer, he steps his left leg in front, he throws his hips in, and he hits a power twist down to the mat. And now we're behind our opponent, ready to go for the finish. Let's give it a shot. 1, 2, 3. Thanks, man. Those hands locked. So you try to step inside, try to step inside, catch, and then I go again, change. That's your time off. So it's less like now we're going to bring my hips, now I drive my hips back. If he keeps the whizzer, I'm just going to put him all the way down and most people end up releasing and not the right. Okay. So it's yes. So it's not, you're not kicking, you're just stepping in.
more weights until you...
Just keep the weights there. You're going to go loose. Let's start drilling.
You're drilling right now. There's a business.
When I'm coming up,
No, the semi was done.
sometimes I go reaching.
His knee to my right hip. So, and this will also force his second leg to hop closer towards me. So if you notice, when I step back and I bring it out, it makes his leg hop towards me, and now I can get my shoulder all the way across to this far hip, and it'll make it a lot easier to flare across. I'm seeing a lot of you guys trying to just move the leg from here, and it looks very awkward. Okay, so what I want you guys doing instead, take a big step back, and you make sure that your opponent is hopping towards you. So I step back, make him hop towards me, and my shoulder shoots across to the far hip, so you get a nice deep double leg. So let's give it one more shot. 1, 2, 3. Here, yeah, it's a retraction. Right over that. A lot of people think it's just even a crunch. That one, it's not. It's a retraction. Back to your elbow.
So easy.
Yeah, it's a lot easier than just trying to fucking squeeze like most people do. Most guillotines, it is a crunch forward, but that katagatame, it's a retraction of your elbow back. Pull back reaction. He's gonna clip his feet and he's gonna force his opponent to take a step and stumble. As Nick stumbles, Isaac's gonna fold his left leg in. He's gonna use his right heel to pull himself up, and his right hand is gonna shoot to the inside of Nick's knee. Now from here, as Nick goes to step further back, he's gonna use that to pull himself up. Yep, and lock a single. Nope, single leg, good. From here, we're gonna look at a few different finishes today. Now, most people, when they go to defend a single leg, they'll take a whizzer and a wrist, okay? You have to understand that the more connected Nick Ortiz is to Izaak, the easier it is to run the pipe. So, what will happen is, as Izaak goes to run the pipe, the whizzer will start to get looser and he'll start to release that grip on the wrist. Now from here, as he feels this grip on the wrist release, he's just gonna pass this leg to the outside and he's gonna switch across to a double. Yep, and he comes across and sits his opponent down. So one last time. He's in a seated guard position. From here, Nick Ortiz has a bladed stance and we wanna draw that rear leg towards us. So he uses one hand, passes it across to the center line, and he grabs elbow 2-on-1. He starts to pull his opponent in, which squares him up. As he gets a pullback reaction, he tries to hit a double koichi, but our opponent does a good job of keeping his balance, and he stumbles one leg out. Now from here, he folds his leg underneath, grabs an inside reach, and as Nick goes to pull away, it helps pull Izaak up to his feet. Nick does the right defense, which is to take a whizzer and wrist. Izaak starts to run the pipe, which forces Nick to start releasing the whizzer and wrist, and that makes it easy to flare across for the double. So one last time. We get our elbow 2-on-1, we draw him in. From here, we force him to take a step by attacking a double koichi. You fold one leg underneath, you hit an inside reach to a single. This allows you to come up to your feet. Nick Ortiz does a good job of taking whizzer and wrist. He starts to run the pipe to loosen that connection, then it allows him to flare across to a double and put our partner down. Let's give it a shot, 1, 2, 3. on the rear leg. So the whole thing is the whole reason you're taking that 2-on-1 is to pull the rear leg towards you so he's square. Yeah.
Now, what determines whether you go something like this or something like this? Does it just depend on your goal?
So, I mean, for this move, you can use either one because it accomplishes the same thing. It's forcing him to take a step and squaring him up. 2-on-1s are generally for like pulling people into leg locks or triangles if they're down on their knees. Arm drags are more for going for their back or for coming up.
I'll try to get it.
Yeah.